Welcome to the Be a Brilliant Human podcast. You're in the right place if you're a growth-seeking being who acknowledges the challenges and delights of your humanity on the path to an ever more conscious life. If you want to feel inspired to love and accept yourself, to feel free to be and express you in all your brilliance, if you want to truly value yourself and others and feel energized and alive both at home and in the world, then sit back and take a breath as you explore and grow the brilliance of your beautiful human self with your host, the father of non-personal awareness and creator of the MPA process, Joel Young.
Hello, and welcome to the Be a Brilliant Human podcast with me, Joel Young. We are at episode 30. Who doesn't love a nice round number? So welcome if you're brand new. I'm so glad you found us, and I hope you enjoy the show. Today's a bit different to our usual, but there's loads to go back to, so you can go and listen and binge listen. Last week I said binge watch, and I thought that's not quite right. Binge listen rather than watch your Netflix. And welcome back if you're a regular. As you know, I so appreciate you choosing to spend this time with me. Time is so precious, so it is something that I deeply appreciate. As ever, if you haven't already, do go ahead, hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. And I'm always open to feedback from you. You can ask me questions. You can share with me what topics you'd like me to cover. Or just let me know how you find the show. Not just how you find it, but do you love it? And if you want to go ahead on to whichever podcast you do, especially Apple or iTunes, if you're enjoying this show, go leave a review. That really helps to get the word out. When people are searching for podcasts, they see a review that says, "Oh my God, Joel's amazing," then they're more likely to listen. Or more importantly, be real and tell them, what do you get from listening to this show? What's it given you in the time that you've spent listening to it? So go ahead, go on to iTunes or whatever platform you listen on and, leave a review. That would be fantastic. Now, a shout out this week to, and really gratitude goes to Samantha Nolan-Smith, who shared the podcast with her thriving community. Now, Sam's a friend of mine, and she's a long-time MPA fan. In fact, she set up the Facebook fan page, if you remember, way back in the day before Facebook business pages. They started out as fan pages. And she set that up and called it MPA Rocks, yes, with 3 exclamation marks. And the name kind of stuck. Sam does fantastic women's empowerment work for entrepreneurs, and she runs the School of Visibility. And I'll link to that in the show notes so you can see. So thanks so much, Sam. Thanks so much, Sam, for sharing that. It's really very much appreciated. I'm getting my words all tangled today. Having too much fun. Now, if you decide to share the show, I'm always grateful for that. But do let me know, because I love to acknowledge you if you share it. And any shout-outs, always welcome. Now let's get in today. So in the last 3 episodes, I've worked you hard. We've been diving deep into some pretty full-on topics. I've been inviting you to roll up your sleeves with sort of transformational exercises and self-inquiry. So today I thought it was time for some play. And as it happened, I was asked by my friend Kim O'Neill to be a guest on a show, which is the Every Day is a New Day, it's called. She's got a podcast, it's on YouTube, all the usual places. And at the time of the recording, she's also in the middle of running a series called Rise and Shine, which is like 21 days of inspiration through the lockdown. Now, her show is all about supporting her audience in cultivating a habit of getting in alignment. Something that I love to talk about, as you'll well know if you listen to this show for a while. And when she reached out to me, she described her Rise and Shine series as, she said it was informal, insightful, energizing, lighthearted, and playful for you, me, and our audience. Well, I loved the sound of that, especially the playful part. And we did have a lot of fun. We actually recorded it on Saturday, just gone. And we talked about affirmations, power poses. And I even got my guitar out and played a wee tune. She actually said, when she wrote to me, obviously all of her guests, it's optional if you want to sing and make up a ditty. So I literally made up, and she said, make one up that has the words rise and shine in it. So I made up a little song and played it on the show. So with that much fun, how could I not share it with you, my beautiful people? So it's time for our second podcast takeover. And without further ado, I'll hand you over to Kim and let's rise and shine together.
Welcome to day 13 of Rise and Shine, our 21-day empowerment series, really helping us all to practice together, cultivating that habit of getting into alignment, mentally, emotionally, physically, so you feel as solid, as whole, as grounded and centered as possible from the inside out, regardless of what's going on around you. And I'm so happy that you are joining us, whether you're live or on the replay. Let us know in the comments where you're connecting from. And is this your first day or is this day 13 for you? What has this been like for you? I'm going to go ahead and introduce today's guest, and then we're going to do our daily practice. So officially, I'd like to welcome Joel Young to the show. Thank you for being here, Joel.
Woo! Thanks. When you asked about this, I was like, oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. I am so up for that.
Well, and you shared with me some exciting information about you that I'm excited to experience in today's episode as well.
I did, yeah. Well, when you said about doing this, you said one of the things optional. Maybe you want to sing. So this afternoon, because it's here, I'm in the UK, so it's like 5 p.m. here. So I thought, well, I'll just create a little ditty, and we'll have a preview. I don't know how it's going to go because I only wrote it this afternoon, but we'll have some fun later with that.
I'm so excited. I absolutely love that you've shared that with me and are going to be singing here with us today. So before we get into that, let's go ahead and do our alignment practice. We're gonna do what we did yesterday, which is something. All of these practices are something that you can do every single day, and in addition to the beginning of your day, you can do it again throughout your day to always help you recenter, regroup, and feel that sense of calm from the inside out. So wherever you're seated, go ahead and just get comfortable. You can go ahead and close your eyes. I like to place one hand on my heart. You can place the other hand on your abdomen or your upper thigh, connecting with your physical body. We're going to go ahead and do the exercise of releasing yesterday and deliberately bringing in today, being present with today. So go ahead and just start by taking some slow, deep cleansing breaths. Allowing the energy within your physical body to start to shift and settle. Exhaling yesterday, inhaling the present moment. And now I want you to imagine that any thoughts that you notice resurface from, whether it be yesterday, whether it be 5 years ago, anything that tends to resurface from your past that doesn't feel good, is not something you like to dwell on or think about. Imagine that with love, those thoughts, the energy surrounding them, are slowly drifting further and further away from you. I have a friend that says, return to sender. And notice how it feels to start to release what is no longer yours, what is no longer part of the present moment. Saying goodbye to the past. Thank you for the lessons. And now we're going to shift into the present moment. And in this present moment, bring in the energy of love. And with your sheer intention, you are connecting with the energy of more love. And see that floating in to you and through your body, filling up all the spaces where the energy of the past may have once occupied. And at this time, you can also bring in the energy of who you truly are. Who are you uniquely? Connecting with all those pieces of you that maybe you may have once forgotten or denied, bringing those in with such love and acceptance and gratitude. Because the truth of who you are is amazing. we're going to start to bring it in, but just inhaling that energy of who you are and filling your physical body up with that essence, your true essence. Noticing how that feels. And as you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes, coming back to the present moment. Let me know in the comments, what is that like for you to just take a few moments to recenter yourself in this present moment, giving that gift to yourself, right? That today is, wait, what is it? The present moment is a gift. There's a whole quote on that. I'm totally botching it. Joel, what is it like for you when you take time to center and align your energy?
It's good. See, I've gone from like hyper. Now I'm like in chilled mode, right?
We're gonna amp it back up.
Yeah, back into chill mode. I think it's vital to do it on a regular basis. Like with that sort of a meditation approach, which I go through phases with, like sitting down. I like the sort of stillness, listen to the clock ticking, nothing else exists kind of approach. But I'm also a great fan of alignment exercises. MPA, that thing there, where is it? That being, obviously, because I'm the creator of it, it is one of the main things. And there's a few others that maybe we'll talk about that are just fantastic for. To me, it's about shifting your state into intentional consciousness, intentional well-being, sort of positive states. But again, in many ways, often you have to hold your hand from where you are to that place, and we tend to often want to leap, cut out the journey from one to the other. And I find a lot of people try and do that and find that it's sort of, it's unsustainable, or you can hit it for a moment, but if you find ways through meditation or through exercises to and I mean sort of internal exercises, then you can get into a sustainable state. Then you're really set up for the day.
I love that. Absolutely. Yes. And so I like to take it the next step further. We really aligned with that energy, brought it into our awareness. And now I like creating an affirmation that the audience can use throughout their day. So what would be an affirmation that you might use to further be in that state of feeling aligned?
Okay. So I saw one of your shows. I can't remember who it was with, but she made the point, which I totally agree with, which was, you can use an affirmation which is someone else's, and it might not click for you. For me, it's always about finding one that really clicks.
Yes.
So what I thought to share today is there's kind of it's part of one of the exercises that I share with people. It's on the first step to hold your hand, and I just start with that one, which is, I like being in the receiving mode of thoughts, energies, and perspectives that help me feel. And then you put whatever the feeling is that you'd like to be feeling in that space.
Can you repeat that? I like being in the receiving mode of
thoughts, energies, and perspectives that help me feel. And then obviously you start by identifying a feeling you'd like to be feeling. What I love about it is it doesn't say, I'm feeling this. It says, it's got a lightness about it. I just like feeling it. It's like, that would be nice. Just open into it. And the receiving mode is kind of an Abraham Hicks sort of phrase that sort of just says, I'm willing to receive, because these energies from the MPA stands for non-personal awareness. A non-personal perspective is that those energies are not personal. They're fundamentally everywhere. They're energies that exist in all of space, time, and throughout all forms. In other words, the stuff, us. So you can tune into them. So it says, yeah, I'm going to tune my dial to this, or I like it when I do. It just softens that. So that's the sort of affirmation, not strictly an affirmation, but I think it's a great one to share.
It is a great one to share because it allows people to take those steps in that direction, because you can have that awareness of, gosh, I don't like where I'm at. And it doesn't feel natural for me to just all of a sudden say that I'm feeling something completely dramatically different, right? Taking that leap, and you're helping them to move in that direction. I absolutely love that. And for those who are with us live, let us know in the comments, what would be an affirmation you could use today? Does Joel's resonate with you, or is there another one that comes up for you today? And the point of this is really to, again, connecting our awareness with the words that we're using, that we're speaking to ourselves, but also speaking out into the environment around us. allowing it to even be easier for us to be in that alignment state when we contribute to the energy around us, right? I love that phrase, be responsible for the energy you bring into a room.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, totally. I was going to say with the affirmation thing, yeah, because it's like if you find an affirmation and it totally resonates and you feel it. I mean, to me, the word affirmation by itself means affirming what's already here. So if you find one that's like, I love and approve of myself, or I'm feeling great today, whatever it is, if that's something that connects, then that's when they absolutely bang. Because what they're doing is they are literally putting it out, that they're giving it a form through your body, but because you're aligned with it, then it has power.
I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so the next question I have for you is, what could that look like in a power pose in your body for you? Like, what would I like being in the receiving mode of thoughts, energies, and perspectives that help me feel blank? What could that look like in a power pose?
In a power pose, I think just like open arm. We can't see my arms, but open arms. I think my favorite power pose. Oh, there we are. Yeah. Still, my arms are too long, but you know what they're doing. They're like,
Yeah.
Little power pose. I think my favorite power pose though is try doing that and not feeling great. It's like, yay!
And you have to do the face with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I've just won. I mean, start with I've just, celebration. I've just won. So let's do. It's like I'm in the receiver mode. Yay! Yeah. Good luck being miserable after that.
So years and years ago, I was in show choir, and we had practices super early in the morning. And it was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm waking up this early to go sing and dance, at school. And something that I used to do every day, I'm just sharing this because this is relevant, is I used to practice smiling, even though I was like nowhere ready to be smiling. But I was like, okay, I heard somewhere that it gives you endorphins and it feels good. And so I would literally be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to do this again. And I would go, okay. And I would just hold it for a while. And within seconds, all of a sudden it felt natural. And it's like the endorphins kicked in and it was like, whew, now I've got that burst of energy. It was really awesome. So
totally, it triggers chemistry. It's like it sends off muscles, trigger nerves triggers the brain triggers chemicals. It associates the two things. This means smile, and the body goes, oh yeah, we can smile. Whole body catches up. If anyone knows about neuropeptides, they're little chemicals the brain makes that are your emotional chemicals, and you have cell receptors in your body that go, oh, that's what we have to do now. That's why your physiology and everything is so amazing.
And it's fun when you notice you're just laughing at yourself all by yourself.
I do that a lot.
I do too.
There's a lot to laugh at here.
Okay, Joel. So I want to share everyone a little bit more about you. So Joel is the creator of the NPA process, which, as he mentioned, is non-personal awareness, correct?
Yep.
Okay. He's the creator of the NPA process and the host of the Be Brilliant Human podcast. And you can learn more about his podcast by going to beabrillianthuman.com. And will you share with us a little bit more about what you do?
Sure. So NPA, most people know it as a simple way to stop taking things personally. So it's a simple 6-line spoken word process. If you go to my website, either beabrillianthuman.com or Joel Young NPA, like that, NPA.com, you can download it for free and just play with it. It's great for alignment. It's great for letting go of the yucky stuff, letting in the yummy stuff. And underneath the process is like a philosophy, the non-personal philosophy, which is really about coming into awareness of the connectedness of all of us, and the awareness that things are happening not just within ourselves but beyond ourselves. I think sometimes we can get a bit there's that thing, we create our own reality, which has a certain truth to it, but we're also interdependent beings, and we're interconnected. So it's not the whole story for me. And so the non-personal philosophy says, that there are other factors at play, but you can locally, as I would say here, tuning into it. And that's your job really, is to be local and tune into it. But to be aware there are much bigger forces at play than just even our affirmations and things. But that's how we relate to the stuff of world, and that's where the magic happens in the relationship. And then the Be a Brilliant Human podcast is fairly recent, but I think I'm on episode 30. It'll be going out next week. And really it's because fundamentally I'm a humanist. It's like there's a lot of stuff that goes on about sort of demonizing the ego and all that kind of stuff. I'm about look, we're human, and yeah, you can have enlightened states, and that's wonderful. But there's the cold face of humanity. What do we do there? How can we polish our personalities and not try to annihilate them because they're the ego? So it's really about coming into the humanity. And one person described another podcaster who I was on his show, and he said, "Oh, I would call it practical spiritual awakening." And I thought, yeah, that'll do.
I like it.
And stuff, and we go quite in depth to some things. But yeah, you can find it again at the website. All the links to the podcast platforms are there. But yeah, Be a Brilliant Human. Come listen. Come join me.
Congratulations on already being at episode 30, because I know you just started that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, once a week without fail.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, okay. So one of the things I like to do throughout this, throughout Rise and Shine, is I do pull cards for extended messages, and I'm still going to pull one at the end, but I pre-pulled one and I want to share it now because I feel like it just sort of relates to some of the things we've talked about. So the card says, "I let go of the past with ease."
Nice.
Yeah. And the back says, "I trust the process of life. I affirm that I am now willing to release the need for any negative situations and conditions." I know that's not entirely everything we were just talking about, but it kind of came up in one of the things we just said. And so I wanted to share it here. Jewel, okay. So let's bring it even more into, I love that you said you're a humanist. So I like bringing this deeper into the body. We had the power pose and the power pose. So what's one food that when you eat it, you notice your body loves receiving that nourishment from it?
So I'm a great believer that it's not the food you eat, it's the energy you eat. So it is because it's anything is an energy which is imprinted by your intentionality, state of being. So my food that I'm going to share today is those mini pots of Haagen-Dazs, because they're like a treat, and when I come to eat them, it's like a little bit of joy. So they're like little pots of joy for me. There's lots of lovely healthy stuff and all that kind of thing, but really that's what I think is great. If you can allow yourself to really notice what brings you joy, that's a fantastic thing. So you're not supposed to say Haagen-Dazs, any brand of ice. No, the point being is they're like pots of joy because it's like they're a treat. As I could have picked, any kind of healthy food, but I think it's really good to give permission. And it's about, if you eat a pot of Haagen-Dazs, a small one or a big one, because you're depressed, and you want to kind of fill the hole, then you're eating depression. If you're going to eat it just for the joy and the treat of it, then that's what you're doing. And the body knows the difference and it will respond accordingly.
I love that you actually brought that in, because I completely agree. I know how important that is. And so beneficial to remember that, again, what are we thinking? What are we feeding ourselves? And how is that being infused into whatever we choose to eat? And then we're again feeding our body that. So are we feeding ourselves something that's going to feel good, that resonates with our alignment? Or is it something that would not be true ultimately for, who you are, if you're telling yourself negative thoughts and then eating, right? Okay. So I love that answer. Jewel, I'm going to go ahead and I want to move into, we're not done with today's show, but I would love, if you're open to it, I would love for you to sing us a song with the words "Rise and Shine" in it.
Okay. I'm nervous now. Okay, right. This is my beloved guitar. This is a 1956 Hofner, so older than me by quite a bit. Not too much, though.
Not too much.
I'm going to take this ring off because it gets in the way.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? It's kind of a sing-along song as well.
Oh, exciting. Okay.
And we'll see. If I cock it up, then that's just how it is. Here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Rise and shine, it's a new day. Make it great. Do it your way. It's grey outside, but you can shine inside. Rise and shine, it's a new day. Gratitude, meditation, lots of play, an affirmation, locked indoors, free inside. Let your spirit open wide. Rise and shine, it's a new day. Make it great, do it your way. It's grey outside, but you can shine inside. Shine, shine, it's a new day. Again, rise and shine, it's a new day. Make it great, do it your way. It's grey outside, but you can shine inside. Rise and shine, it's a new day. Rise and shine, it's a new day. Rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and shine, it's a new day.
Woo! That was awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure. That was fun.
It was fun having you do that. And so for those that don't know, I mean, you have a musical background, correct?
Yeah, I first learned guitar when I was 8 years old. And when I was 11, I wanted a band, but no, we moved to schools and no one I knew played. So I got the friends that I made. I said, right, you get a guitar for Christmas, I'll teach you. You get some drums, I'll teach you. And I put a band together, taught them all how to play. And we played through school, and we used to go down the local pubs and get up prepubescent, singing songs. I didn't really know what they meant because I grew up on rock and stuff. It was great fun. Then I was in a band and touring and stuff for a while. So had a couple of singles, that kind of thing. So yeah, I've got a musical background, but it's been one of my lockdown joys is I've not really done much music for quite a while. So it's one of the things that I've sort of had time and inspiration to get back to. So I've been having to play. So this again was another excuse to go, oh, just write a bloody song. Why not?
I absolutely love that. I did not know that Joel even had a musical background. Maybe I did and I just completely forgot. But so fitting to have you here and share that with us today. So Joel, I'm going to go ahead and pull at least one more card just to amplify today's inspirational message, empowerment message for everyone with us live on the replay. And while I'm doing that, will you tell everyone, a little bit more, like, what does it mean to you to be a brilliant human? Like, what do you think are some key core components of that? And in addition to your podcast, is there anywhere else people can go to connect with you?
Sure. So I think being a brilliant human, I kind of sort of said it, but it's like we're all imperfect, but being brilliant means really just opening into the possibility of growing. And it's about learning to deal with the stuff of life in an ever more graceful way. So a lot of the tools that I offer and share on the show are really ways to sort of deal with different situations, to look at different aspects. But a lot of the message is how can we shift our relationship to the stuff of life? Because then the relationship, if your relationship to something changes, everything changes. And then on the MPA side, and I do talk about MPA in the show, MPA is about shifting that relationship. It's about coming into a place where you can allow things to flow, to pass. It's not about defending against things or anything. It's about becoming porous and allowing things to come through. And we're talking about alignment today. So if you go and listen to episode 27 in particular, that affirmation I gave today is part of a bigger exercise. And the last 3 weeks, I've done like mini trainings. Really want to support people, especially right now. So we've looked at that exercise is about pivoting and freeing your well-being from the conditions, because we make it conditional on circumstances. And then we looked at trust and control, two of the biggest issues. When I asked my community, what's the biggest thing that's going on? It was trusting the government, trusting what's going on, and control, of being told to lock down. So go have a look at that. That'd be a great thing. And also the MPA process you can get for free. If you go either to any of my websites, you'll find it. Just download the process, give it a go, and let me know. Let me know how you find it.
That is so generous that they can download that for free. That's awesome. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And so we are going to close out. We have 2 more cards that popped out as I was shuffling there. And so we have another one that is essentially affirming the very first message. First message was, I let go of the past with ease. The second one is, I can release the past and forgive everyone.
All right.
And the third one is, life supports me.
Fantastic.
So with that, everybody, thank you for being here today. Let me know what you were taking away in the comments, whether you're with us here live on Facebook or on the replay, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean. Let us know what you're taking away. How have you felt by practicing getting into alignment every single day, really being present for yourself? When you're present for yourself first, it's also easier for others to show up for you. If that's a thing coming up for you right now, more you show up for yourself, absolutely, then other people and the universe can start to show up for you in ways that may have been a struggle before. Remember that every day is always a new day. Wherever you are today does not have to be where you are tomorrow. And wherever you were yesterday does not have to be where you are today. You are amazing. And I hope you will know that and carry that forth throughout your day. And you can, of course, use Joel's affirmation or anyone that resonated with you today to really help yourself be in that state of alignment and continue to be present for yourself, affirming that as you go throughout your day. I'll see you all again tomorrow for day 14 of Rise and Shine with another amazing guest. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Kim. Bye, folks.
Thank you, Joel.
Well, I really hope you enjoyed that and it put a smile on your face. It certainly put a smile on my face. Now, one thing I realised is that, we recorded that as a Facebook Live, and you might be wondering, if you're listening just on the audio, what my second power pose was, as I didn't describe that one. Well, it was like a double fist punch, both arms shot to the sky, like nearly taking my ears off, just like I scored a goal in the World Cup. And I'll put a screenshot of that in the show notes. And if you haven't listened yet to the last few episodes and sort of rolled your sleeves up, you haven't earned your play. No, you don't earn your play. Then I'll also link those there too. You just need to go to www.beabrillianthuman.com/30 to get the show notes for today. And of course, I'll also link Kim's podcast and her information so you can get in contact with her too if you fancy doing that. And also, because this was originally in video, you can watch it that way if you check out the post for this episode on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Joel Young. Well, thanks so much for being here today. I hope you've had some fun. I hope it stirred you, touched you, and given you some perspective that can help you up your game in some form. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. If you like what you hear, make sure you go and tell someone. I will see you next week, so let's cue the moo.